Okay, peeps, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about how to make $1,000 a month with the YieldMax CONY ETF or CONY. Let's get it. So first things first, what is the CONY ETF? Well, it is the CoinBase Options Income Strategy ETF by YieldMax. And what is Coinbase? Coinbase is basically a crypto exchange. In the United States, I believe it is either the biggest or one of the biggest alongside Gemini and Kraken, where you can basically buy and sell native cryptocurrencies. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the numbers here. So, we are on a dividend calculator here. As you guys can see, we have CONY inserted, um, listed as an individual stock. It's actually an ETF, but I guess it would be like a single stock ETF, so like a hybrid, but whatever the case. So you got a monthly distribution. The idea here is that you would want to reinvest the dividends, not financial advice. So we'll start with 40 shares. How did we come up with 40 shares? Well, it's quite simple. That's $1,000 initial investment divided by the current share price, which, as you guys can see over here on the left, is $25.19 as of market close yesterday. And that comes out to roughly about 40 shares. So we just rounded that up. Put in the current price. We're going to start with basically a monthly contribution of $300 a month. Nothing substantial. It's a very small conservative amount. Your typical tax rate, we're actually going to bump this up. We'll call this 22% because I highly doubt that a short-term capital gains tax rate is ever going to be at 15%. It could happen, but I just kind of doubt that's going to be the case. So the initial annual dividend yield, and yes, you did read that correctly. The most recent dividend distribution rate percentage from the CONY ETF was a mind-boggling 117%. No annual dividend increases. Main reason being is because the dividend kind of fluctuates on this thing. So you can see the first payout was $1.20, second payout was $1.07, and the third payout was $2.46. Which a lot of that was probably attributed to the run up in the price of Coinbase and the CONY ETF. As you guys can see here on the charts, it ran up pretty hard the last couple of months. So 1% expected annual share price appreciation. I do not think that that's unrealistic. Of course, it depends on if mass adoption takes place or if we still stick to the 4-year bull bear cycles that we've seen throughout history. So we'll just pick 10 years of investing here for the snowball effect. Now, you guys can see all these numbers here. Basically, after 10 years, you would have $91 million a year in dividends. Do I think that's realistic? Probably not. But I suppose it's possible, but I highly doubt that's realistic. So just kind of ignore these numbers here. I don't think that's actually realistic. But the idea here is to get the passive income, okay? So you want to make $1,000 a month. Basically, it would take you at $300 a month. You would get there in just over 2 years, so somewhere around 2.5 years. I do think getting up to a $60,000 valuation within a couple of years is possible because if the Bitcoin bull run and the crypto bull run is to basically last until the end of 2025, that gives us approximately 2 years, as you can see on the calendar. And I say that because the reason why it's important to understand the correlation between crypto, Coinbase, and CONY is because crypto is bought and sold or traded on Coinbase, and Coinbase is heavily correlated to crypto, and this is a Coinbase ETF. So do understand that. And on the last cycle, basically we started the bull run somewhere around, I want to say it was like March or April of 2020. Yeah, I think March or April of 2020 during the pandemic, just before the halving. That was not actually the all-time low. The all-time low was back, I believe, in 2018 or 19. But regardless, the bull market didn't actually end until almost December of 2021. So you're getting roughly about 2 years of bullish price action there. So that would be $300 a month. So now we'll take a look at $500 a month, see the difference that makes. So we go back down here again. You guys can see that just slightly over 2 years is how long it would take you to get to 1,000 a month. 1,000 a month is 12,000 a year. At 2 years, you'd be at 10,000 a year. So pretty close, but not quite there just yet. So if we were to go even more aggressive, just say $1,000 a month. So again, do I think $150 million a year in passive income off of just this one ETF is possible? I mean, anything's possible in markets, but I would say it's probably not likely. So as you guys can see here, it would take you under 2 years to get to that $1,000 a month. So maybe like roughly around a year and a half. So these are the numbers on the CONY ETF and how to get to $1,000 a month. So there's something else I wanted to point out to you guys for those of you that have a lot more money and you can just buy into this thing and be like, well, I just want to drop like 10 or 20 or 50,000 or whatever. I don't really care about the money because, you're like a millionaire or you're rich or something. So you're not really too concerned about it. You just say, I just want to buy in whatever the amount is. Tell me what the amount is that I can buy to get to $1,000 a month. Okay. So we're going to tell you what that is right now. So we'll do the math. So it's really quite simple. Basically, you're looking to make $1,000 a month. You want to divide that by the current share price, which is 25.19. Or sorry, so yeah, that's actually not right. My bad. I'm trying to remember how I did this. So okay, so I believe it was 400 shares. So you need roughly about 400 shares at the current price. So that's a $10,000 initial investment. If we do 400 shares times 246, which was the most recent payout, that would give you roughly about $1,000 a month. We could round it up here, say it's 410 shares. Basically, that times the current share price would give you'd be looking at roughly about a $10,000 investment to get that $1,000 a month of initial income. Now, I do understand that there's not necessarily a guarantee that this is going to continue to pay this mind-blowing yield that we see right here. I would say realistically, probably being a little bit more conservative would be a good idea, not financial advice, but we'll just go with, let's say, $1.50 in passive income. So I believe you would need roughly around 700 shares to get to that 1,000 a month. Yeah, that looks about right. So we'll say 700 shares times the current price of 25.19. So you'd be looking at an initial investment of just under 18,000 if the dividend were to be $1.50 a month. Again, these dividends change on a month-to-month basis. That is the nature of covered calls and covered call dividend paying ETFs or options premiums. So with that being said, there's a few things that I want you guys to keep in mind when investing in these. Okay, they can go down in value. Okay, they are high yielding covered call ETFs, so a lot of the price share is paid out as a dividend. Just so you all know, that's pretty much what happened back here on this gap on the chart. You can see that the price just absolutely moonshot, and then the dividend got paid out, and it was a huge dividend. We came back to this resistance turned support and then bounced off of there. So it kind of eats into the share price a little bit. Understand that. The other thing to understand is that crypto operates on cycles. So every 4 years, during a 4-year period, there will be a bear market and a bull market. We think that the bull market's probably going to end somewhere around the end of 2025. That's just our rough estimate as of right now. We will do TA on this in the future, so y'all know kind of more or less roughly when the top's going to be. But do understand that. So if you intend to hold these long term, CONY could potentially drop 90% with the price of Coinbase. We've seen Coinbase drop 90% in the past. So if CONY goes to $100 and it drops 90%, well, it'd be wise, not financial advice, but it'd be wise to take profit as the price of crypto is about ready to top out, and then wait for that 90% drop to take place, and then buy down at the bottom in the CONY ETF. So there is that. The other thing to keep in mind is that Coinbase and crypto are very heavily correlated. So if Bitcoin goes up, Coinbase is going to go up, and of course the whole crypto market as well. As you guys can see, like here on ICP, it's up 50%. Another one that we actually hold is Filecoin. That's up massively, so that's nice to see because it's done nothing for basically months on end. But if Coinbase and crypto goes down, the CONY ETF will go down. Do understand they are heavily correlated. Also, one other thing to understand is the spot Bitcoin ETFs, which are being talked about, which are rumored to be approved by the SEC sometime between next month and March of next year. It's really hard to say what exactly is going to happen or when it's going to happen. That could either be very bullish or bearish for the price of the CONY ETF. Reason being is because if the SEC comes out and says, no, we're not going to approve it, screw you guys, we're not going to help you, that kind of thing. Then the price of crypto could plummet. And as a result, CONY could also plummet. But if they come out and approve it, it could be bullish. The price of crypto and CONY could basically skyrocket, and you could see price appreciation in CONY. But if they approve it and it's a buy the rumor, sell the news event, then all of this pumping of the crypto prices leading up to the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF would have been the bullish piece of the action. And then when the spot Bitcoin ETFs come out, well, buy the rumor, sell the news. When the news actually comes out that the spot Bitcoin ETFs got approved, then the market could just sell off, and all these traders that have been buying in months in advance would take their profits, and then the price of CONY could just potentially dump. So anyways, keep all that in mind. This is our video on how to make $1,000 a month in CONY. Hope you all enjoyed the content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see y'all later. Peace.